Can you believe it? It took me less than an hour to prepare a meal featuring golden brown roasted chicken and tender aromatic potatoes. Sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? I used to think making a delicious chicken dish like this required a lot of time and effort. But after trying this method, I realized it was much simpler than I imagined. Make sure to watch until the end of the video to discover the real secret. First, place all the chicken thighs into a large bowl. Using a spacious bowl makes mixing easier and ensures the seasonings coat every piece of meat evenly. Start with a little salt, just enough to establish a flavor base. Then, add the chili powder. It not only adds a mild heat, but also gives the chicken a richer color when roasted, making it look much more appetizing. Now, gently massage each piece of chicken with your hands. Take your time. Don't rush. Work the seasonings into every nook and cranny of the meat, so the salt and chili powder are evenly distributed. Once the chicken is thoroughly coated with this initial layer of seasoning, let the meat rest for a moment. Now it's time to prepare the marinade, a crucial step for infusing the chicken with rich aroma and deep flavor. Grab a small bowl. First, pour in about 30 milliliters of olive oil. The oil helps retain moisture in the meat and gives the chicken a beautiful sheen once cooked. Next, add about 50 milliliters of soy sauce. This ingredient provides a rich, savory flavor and adds depth to the dish. Then, add about 2 tablespoons of honey. Honey balances the flavors with a subtle sweetness and helps the chicken skin achieve a stunning golden brown color during roasting. Add a pinch of black pepper for aroma. Then, add a tablespoon of minced garlic, an ingredient I consider absolutely essential. Mix the ingredients thoroughly. In just a few seconds, you'll catch a rich, warm aroma, a scent that instantly signals this dish is going to be delicious. Next, pour the mixture over the chicken. Gently toss with a spoon to ensure every piece is thoroughly coated in that glossy marinade. At this stage, the chicken is practically ready. Simply let it marinate for about 30 minutes to absorb the flavors. Now it's time to prepare the potato side dish. To be honest, sometimes this side dish alone makes everyone at the table fall silent in admiration, simply because it looks so incredibly appetizing. Let's start with the potatoes. I've already peeled and washed them. Now we just need to slice them. Don't slice them too thin, or they might fall apart. But don't cut them too thick either, or they won't cook evenly. You want just the right thickness so they become tender when cooked, while still holding their shape. Then, start arranging the potatoes on the tray. Once that's done, take a look at the kitchen. Everything is almost ready. Now it's time to start cooking. For the lower rack, line the tray with parchment paper and arrange the chicken pieces on it. Place each chicken thigh down with a little space between them. Don't stack them, so the heat can circulate evenly. You can already see the dish taking shape. Slide the chicken tray onto the lower rack. Next up, the potatoes. I brush a little cooking oil over the potatoes so they don't burn during roasting. Place a wire rack on the upper level, then gently set the potato tray on top. 2 dishes, 2 levels, cooking simultaneously. That's what I love most about this recipe. Everything happens at the same time. Set the oven to 200 degrees Celsius and roast for 25 minutes. As the temperature rises, the first aromas quickly begin to waft through the air. At first, the scent is subtle, yet enough to make you eagerly anticipate the finished result. Now it's time to prepare the topping for the potatoes. This is the step that transforms the dish from simply delicious into something truly unforgettable. I usually finely chop a few shiitake mushrooms for this chicken dish because my whole family loves them. If you don't have shiitake mushrooms, feel free to use any variety you prefer. Next, I coat the pan with a thin layer of oil, just enough to prevent sticking, and quickly sauté the mushrooms. I add a pinch of salt and some black pepper. As they heat up, the mushrooms soften and release a wonderfully pleasant aroma. There is no need to sauté them for too long. Just until they are tender and fragrant is perfect. Now, open the oven. A blast of hot air rushes out, and the aroma of the roasted chicken becomes much more intense. Brush another layer of sauce onto the chicken thighs. This deepens the color, enhances the flavor of the skin, and creates a glossy finish once cooked. Roast for another 15 minutes. And then, the moment you open the oven, wow, it looks amazing. The heat escapes first, immediately followed by a rich, savory aroma that fills the kitchen. Now for the potato tray. Gently scatter the mushrooms over the layer of potatoes. Then, sprinkle a layer of mozzarella cheese over the top. As it melts, the cheese binds the ingredients together, adding a subtle creaminess and making the dish feel complete. Then, place the tray back in the oven. The chicken on the lower rack is perfectly cooked. The skin is a beautiful golden hue, and the slightly crispy edges look incredibly appetizing. The sauce has reduced and thickened on the surface, creating a glossy, rich, and flavorful glaze. The cheese has completely melted, covering the mushrooms and onions. The surface has turned a light golden brown and gives off a rich, enticing aroma. I gently lift each chicken thigh onto a plate. The skin is evenly cooked, golden yellow with slightly charred edges. It looks absolutely mouth-watering. The sauce has thickened to the perfect consistency, creating a glossy, rich, and flavorful glaze that looks delightful. Simply placing the plate of chicken on the table is enough to draw everyone's gaze. I gently use a spoon to lift a corner of the potato dish. The layers separate beautifully, tender potato slices mingling with mushrooms and strands of melted cheese. Everything holds its shape perfectly, nothing falls apart, and it looks absolutely appetizing. In just about an hour, you have a steaming, comforting meal featuring golden brown roasted chicken and rich, cheesy potatoes. It's the kind of dish the whole family eagerly anticipates the moment the oven door opens. Sometimes, a wonderful meal doesn't need to be overly elaborate. It just needs to be hot, packed with flavor, and tempting enough to keep everyone lingering at the table a little longer. If you enjoy recipes like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can share more simple yet impressive dishes worth trying out.